Let's first of all head to Mombasa, where we will be joined by Regina Manyara, who is attending a conference on IEK. Take it away.
Well, good morning, Mike. We're coming to you live from Mombasa for the 30th IEK International Convention. Yesterday was day one. This is day two and happens to be the official opening. And we're expecting chief guest none other than Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to grace this particular convention. Today is going to be action-packed, and let me just take you through what we are expecting here. We're expecting that keynote address by Deputy President, as I mentioned there, Rigathi Gachagua, at around 8:30 rear-about. Then we're going to have quite, heavy topics to be discussed in the morning session, including where we are going nowhere without engineering. That's a curious theme to have this morning. It's because engineers who have converged here, where we are around 4,000 engineers, local engineers, as well as 400 international engineers. The conversation is about how engineering is here to create solutions to the current problems currently, and also looking into the future in light of even where technology is going. We're talking about Internet of Things and AI, so to speak, climate change and adaptation as well as mitigation. Secondly, we're also going to have the regulator lead a conversation, that is the Engineering Board of Kenya, under the leadership of Registrar Margaret Ogai. They're leading a conversation on engineering for socio-economic growth, every aspect of engineering within our economy, and also matters of soft skills for engineers. This is including how do engineers better communicate, their workings as well as their dealings for visibility. This is also a topic that was covered yesterday when women and the youth had the separate sessions. They're talking about women inclusion as well as young engineers and why they are not practicing, or rather taking up active roles in engineering professions. It came out that engineers are not adequately, having conversations, visibility, using the right tools, including social media presence, to actually talk about what solutions they have come up with for the various situations that we have. In the afternoon, we're going to have 5 breakout sessions that are going to be happening concurrently. And curiously enough, Mike, I know you're about to have a conversation on matters of infrastructure and transport, and that is one of the key topics that is going to be discussed today. And we are expecting none other than PS Charles Hinger to discuss matters of housing, infrastructure, transport, and finance for engineering. As fiscal planning is being done, are we factoring in the role of engineers? At a time when looking at the Central Business District, where you are, Mike, it indicates that 85% of Kenyans actually make their way to the Central Business District each and every morning. But does the requisite infrastructure commensurate the population that currently makes its way to the city? That's a question that is going to be answered in the afternoon session. Another conversation that is going to be happening is water, irrigation, environment, and climate change. Just coming months after Kenya held the ACS, that is the Africa Climate Summit, under the Nairobi Declaration, conversations around water, irrigation, and environment, as well as climate change, have been at the fore, looking at what the government as well as private sector is doing to ensure that as we adapt, climate is here. It's not going to change. Like today, it's raining. Yesterday, it was sunny. We're also talking about the heavy rains that are pounding various parts of the country. Are engineers actively playing a role in this to ensure that, look at water harvesting, so that in the next few months, weeks, we will not be talking about drought? The third one is energy, electrification, and ICT. And I see the president of IEK, our host for this particular convention, making his way to where we are. Maybe he can tell us what to expect, especially that now today is the official opening of this particular international convention. Good morning, Engineer Ohag.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm very much well. We are done planting trees. Now we're here for the official opening. What should we expect?
Thank you so much, and we are very happy, the engineering fraternity of this country today, as we host this 30th IEK International Convention. And of course, as we do this, we are cognizant of the fact that we are bringing the world to Kenya with the World Council of Civil Engineers, and we want to expose our engineers to the best practices of the world. And therefore, there's a very great opportunity for our members, engineers, suppliers, and even stakeholders of this country to have an opportunity to interact, to benchmark best practices so that we can be able to move our engineers across the globe for purposes of building this world altogether.
One of the topics that is going to be discussed today is that we are going nowhere without engineering. That's quite a curious topic. What was the thinking behind having such a theme, especially for the official opening morning session?
Thank you so much. And I normally refer our members to the Asian Tigers. We talk about Malaysia. We talk about Singapore. These are European countries that have actually made it as a result of utilization of the engineering resources. These are countries that looked around and said that for us to be able to develop, then you must make sure that the engineers are on the board. They provide very innovative solutions to the problem that exists in terms of infrastructure so that we can move forward. And I'm happy that that particular topic is going to be delivered by none other than the chairman of the Ghanaian Institution of Engineers, Engineer Dr. Kwame Bonche. And I think it's a very good topic for us that leaders of this continent, leaders of the region should actually recognize and embrace engineers and other professionals so that as a nation, as a region, and as a world, we should be able to move forward and achieve our SDG as it were.
Some 2 days ago, those who are making their way to Mombasa actually got stuck in traffic, actually over 2 hours of traffic. That is an engineering, solution there. Now, how are we planning? Are we adequately planning when it comes to housing, infrastructure, and traffic? And transport. Have we fully involved engineers in these particular developments that we're having, or is there a missing gap?
I think from conceptualization into design and then implementation of any projects, you find we have very good blueprints. Engineers have participated in feasibility studies. They have provided those designs. But of course, we operate within finite resources. And you find that at times the proposals that have been made are never implemented in time to be able to provide tangible solutions to solve the problem that exists. I can assure you the engineers, whatever they do every single day, is first of all to look at the problems, and that is a serious practical problem that actually exists. The designs to be able to even expand the roads, designs to be able to make our systems motorable have been done by our engineers, and that is a typical problem that I know will be able to be discussed here, as we say, on issues of even affordable housing, or how to look at how we are able to provide low-cost materials that are still meeting technical specifications and able to make us and move forward in the most cost-effective manner.
It's a busy morning, but I'm not going to let you off before we speak about, smart cities. It's something that government has been speaking about. Now we're talking about green cities. Give us some, what's your thoughts about this?
If you talk about artificial intelligence, it's moving the world, where components are able to communicate to each other. And we are talking about efficiency and effectiveness. And when we embrace artificial intelligence, that is what is going to make us move forward. This government is also very cognizant of the fact that we must engage and embrace digital economy. And there's a whole state department that is actually dealing with the digital economy, where we want to connect all households, we want to connect all infrastructures, we want to connect trading centers so that people are able to communicate, people are able to do business, people are able to undertake even manufacturing activities using artificial intelligence. And that's all about innovation. By so doing, we should be able to make progress in the short term.
Now, Mr. President, are you worried as an engineer, now that we've come of age, when you talk about AI? There's some quarters, there's some professions that are actually very worried about, the uptake of AI as an engineer. Are you worried?
Not worried at all, because those AIs, the inputs come from an engineer. It's just the effectiveness that we are going to improve. So there will be no lack of opportunities. We have to embrace technology all the time, because every single minute things are changing, and we go to change with those times. And therefore, engineers are always embracing technology at any given time for purposes of ensuring effectiveness and efficiency.
Very well said. We have been speaking to none other than the president of IEK, our host for this international convention that is taking place during this week. Started yesterday, but today is the second day, and the official opening ceremony is going to be officiated by none other than Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Some conversations that are going to be very interesting is where we are, not only as a country, but also as a globe when it comes to adoption of technology in engineering, where matters of technology, as the president has said, IEK, it's it's just how we input, but this has been generated by engineers. I'm Regina Manyara. We are live here at Pride in Mombasa, Shanzu. So we hand you back to Broadcasting House. We're going to be keeping tabs on what is going to be happening at this convention, where at around 8:39 a.m. we're going to have Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua here. To you, Mike.
Thank you, Ray. Ray speaking to us from Mombasa, where there is the 30th IEK International Convention that brings together national and international engineering fraternity. And some of the things they'll be talking about is how engineering can can provide solutions for the future, especially in the area of infrastructure. We'll be keeping tabs on that and we'll inform you accordingly as the convention continues. We get